The Morro Bay City Council decided the wearing of face coverings in public spaces should not be mandatory. Some city council members thought a mask ordinance would just be too difficult to enforce, and Councilmember Marlise McPherson brought up the conflicting information about the effectiveness of cloth masks. For Morro Bay resident Nicole Dorfman, she says she was relieved the city council decided not to make it mandatory, since she feels the science behind cloth masks just isn't there.
All of the research that I have read says there is no evidence that cloth masks can prevent the spread of any contagion. Certainly, I'm in favor of anybody wearing a mask, but I do not see the science supporting healthy people wearing cloth masks.
San Luis Obispo County Public Health Officer Penny Borenstein has been asked repeatedly about mask use. Borenstein says while medical masks are far more effective than cloth masks, wearing a cloth mask is just an additional protective measure in preventing the spread of the virus.
Mask usage, as it's more and more becoming evident through medical literature, really is about protecting other people. It is not fail-safe, which is why we continue to harp on all the other tried and true measures.
Borenstein says it should be up to establishments to decide whether or not to require people to wear face coverings.
Individual businesses can and should do what they think is appropriate for their business to protect both their patrons and their employees.
While the San Luis Obispo County Democratic Party agrees it should be up to private businesses, the organization is advocating for the county and the 5 cities to require the wearing of face masks in outdoor and public spaces, especially during a time when the coastal communities get packed with tourists. Party Chair Rita Casaverde says not having people wear a mask out in public puts the community at risk.
The county is reopening, and we are seeing as well protests regarding Black Lives Matter, and we know that those protests are not going to end anytime soon. And so we are asking the county to take action because we know that we need to enforce mask wearing in public spaces, especially now, knowing that so many people are gathering.
Borenstein has long pointed out the county's public health department recommends face coverings when physical distancing cannot be observed.
The utilization of masks as an additional protective measure is something that we should all do when necessary, when you cannot maintain the other measures, and particularly social distancing or physical distancing.
But Borenstein stops short in making masks a requirement out in public.
I get asked all the time, why is this county not going forward with an order for masks? And the main reason is our numbers don't dictate at this moment that we need to dictate that to people.
Borenstein added that while there is no current face covering order in the county, there could potentially be one in the future if the number of COVID cases rises.
We reserve that for a situation if we seem to be going in the wrong direction with our disease spread. But right now we continue to have very low numbers. That can change in a heartbeat.
Reporting in Pismo Beach for KCBX News, I'm Angel Russell.